Have you ever watched a high school centric anime? Many of you probably said yes, and basing on my fan base, but there's also a fraction of you watching this that may dislike anime in the first place or never even just don't even like high school slice of life anime. But whatever it is, everyone has experienced adolescence or is going through it like now, like me. I tend to shine on stories from anime in the slice of life high school genre, and not limited to just that, will deserve recognition, understanding, and passion, because I feel these animes we'll be discussing has affected me and inspired me through its storytelling, characterization, visuals, and personal experience in the form on how I act in real life, how it affects my art, my personality, and even this video creation. The animes I'm going to speak about is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya and Hyoko. There are many more high school anime that I love, like Kaguya-sama Love is War, or Snafu, or Clannad, or Koku no Connect, or Toradora, and so forth. But to keep this video from being over 20 minutes, I just limited myself to 2. And this is gonna be in parts, so. And if you notice how I'm less funny or I'm more serious, because this video means a lot to me. With enough of that said, let's start out with a shout out of this fan-made project by the joint creators of Blaze Pillar and Tsukiyomi Totsuwa, Mrs. Tama. It is an original storyline that incorporates characters from the minds of the creators into the world of Demon Slayer. The first chapter is out currently. First encounter Runaway Flame. It was an engaging read though, and to keep this a secret between us guys, I'm actually working on a project with their team as a voice actor for the potential series and future projects. So go ahead and read through and like and comment and get support to this dream of ours to the recognition it needs to keep on going. Anyways, back to The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Here's the basic summary of this anime classic, shall we? You know this guy you see on screen? Yeah, his name is Kian. He's a self-described ordinary high school student. He characterizes himself as a lazy, average Joe and prides himself on being normal, but also wanting something supernatural deep down.
How long I believed in some old fat guy who wears a funky red suit? I can tell you this. I've never believed in him, ever. The Santa that showed up at my kindergarten Christmas festival? I knew he was fake. And I never saw Mommy kissing Santa or anything. But I have to say that even as a little kid, I knew better than to believe in some old man that only worked one day a year. Now, having said that, it wasn't until I got older that I realized aliens, time travelers, ghosts, monsters, espers, evil syndicates, and the anime/manga/fantasy flick heroes that fight said evil syndicates were also fake. Okay, I guess I always knew those things were bogus, I just didn't want to admit it. All I ever wanted was for an alien, time traveler, ghost, monster, esper, evil syndicate, or the hero that fought him to just appear and say, hey! Unfortunately, reality is a hard road indeed. Yep, you gotta admit, the laws of physics definitely puts a damper on things. I even stopped watching those TV shows about aliens and ghosts and stuff. Aliens, time travelers, espers, of course they don't exist. But a little part of me wishes that they did. I guess I've grown up and realized that I can think about those things and still accept reality.
Until the titular character Haruhi Suzumiya announces herself in the classroom.
I'm Haruhi Suzumiya from East Junior High. First off, I'm not interested in ordinary people, but if any of you are aliens, time travelers, or espers, please come see me. That is all.
Is that supposed to be funny? There stood before me this amazingly beautiful girl.
Okay, next.
I bet everyone thought she was kidding, but it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't anything to laugh about. Haruhi is always dead serious.
And after, on the behest of Haruhi, inspired by Kian, Haruhi formed the SOS Brigade, a club that finds supernatural anomalies with an alien, a time traveler, and an Esper, respectively named Yuki, Mikuru, and Itsuki. Here's a fun fact: Haruhi is basically a god that unknowingly brings all these supernatural stuff around everyone in the world. But this video is not about that. In the first episode, where Kian and Haruhi talk in the classroom, where we get a sneak peek about Haruhi's intentions, philosophy, and worldviews, etc., there's an influential, eye-opening moment for Kian, us, the audience, and me especially in this conversation.
That's important anyway.
So what is?
Here's the problem. So far, the way it looks is that all the men in this entire universe are pathetic. I mean, all through junior high, that was the one thing that irritated me the most.
All right then, so what kind of guy would you have really been into? An alien or something?
Yeah, anything like an alien or something else along those lines. Anyway, as long as the person isn't an ordinary human, I don't care if it's a boy or
Hang
a
on
girl.
a sec, what's wrong with being human? I mean, why do they have to be an alien?
Because that way, life's more interesting.
She says, during the conversation, "That one makes life interesting." That stuck with me. It's the quote that cements my love for Haruhi as a character. Simple quote of "it makes life interesting" has a meaning infused with it that embodies Haruhi Suzumiya to me, and what she displays now as a person in this point in time. And as for me, years ago and the majority of my life, I never wanted to do anything. If I wanted to do anything, I just fail. You know, even if I did try, I still fell short and people still made fun of me. And due to that, life felt boring, a little depressing, and being bullied basically in primary school life and my former years of secondary school. And the line "that makes life interesting" to me shows the willingness to seek fun and try to find pleasure, even if others don't see it as fun or think you're weird. And that's why I metaphorized this quote as some sort of reassurance kinda on why I do things like acting in a national play, making videos, posting on DefCats_Insta, cementing this peak anime for me and many others. There's also one more scene that has to be discussed. There's a specific episode that I want to draw special attention that strikes me like a million suns. It's called... Sorry to break the immersion for a sec, but for the life of me, I could not find this episode where this scene came from. I searched high and low to find it, and even skimming through the entire series, I couldn't find the scene as well. So I don't know what episode or anything, okay? This clip that I have is probably in 4:5 or whatever. So it's not even gonna be full screen, okay? Alright, I'll try my best in editing. The only thing I have showing this scene in this video, which I recorded on my old tablet on October 3rd, 2025. Back to the video. The SOS Brigade is in the club room. Now I want to break down this scene and really appreciate it. It's a sunset scene in the club room. Kian sits there playing with Kuzumi by the table and has an inner monologue to himself, having a philosophical thoughts on how the gang doesn't really have anything particularly to do right now. Kian is reminding himself and us, the audience, on how sometimes in your life you feel overwhelmingly lacking things to do, and time passes like a clock. Kian mentioning how sometimes we are ungrateful on the normal, seemingly uninteresting things of ordinary life. And he also goes on to mention the not so normal things in life that happens in our lives as well. While narrating all this, the camera is zooming in on the club room, the club members, shots across the entire room, and everything. It's like a moment trapped in time. And who didn't think so? But of course, it was Haruhi Suzumiya, the almost antithesis of Kian, excluding their nuances and similarities in their worldviews. There's many videos out there about Haruhi's and Kian's relationship, but we're not gonna go into that. The song "Someday in the Rain" plays in this scene, and a few other times throughout the series. The series, a beautiful orchestral piano piece by the creator. Let me put his name up in the video. It says the emotion and tranquility of this scene. It adds a soft, peaceful atmosphere of this moment in time.
There wasn't really anything we wanted to do. Actually, we didn't know what we should do. It was like a moratorium on life as time flowed by. A life we took for granted. An ordinary life. And despite feeling dissatisfied about the overwhelming lack of things to do, you keep thinking about the next day. You keep telling yourself you still got lots of time. But that was unusual in and of itself. And that really wasn't a bad thing at all. Almost getting killed by a classmate, or perhaps meeting a monster tearing up a deserted world with gray skies. Now, those things don't happen every day. It's true. I wish that days like this would last forever. And wouldn't you think that way too? But there was someone that didn't think so. And of course, it was Haruhi Suzumiya.
But what does this mean to me? It gives me perspective and many others that even if you're bored or currently you feel like you have an ordinary life that's boring, despite all of that, you're still thinking about the next day. You keep telling yourself that you have lots of time. And of course, exciting things will happen in your life too as well. But these days, we're too focused on interesting things and we get ungrateful on the normal aspects of life. But sometimes, do you want an uneventful day? Wouldn't you think that way too? Alright, this was part 1 because it's already the end of January as of writing, and having Hiyoko on top in this video with Haruhi, this video would be like coming out in March or something. So don't forget to read the first encounter, chapter 1, Runaway Flame, by my team or my friends or whatever. If you like fan-made manga inspired by Demon Slayer, is link in the description with my Instagram, DevCast Insta. Okay? Also, I just want to mention that it's gonna be February soon, so I don't have a date, but please tell me in the comments if you have a date. Alright, see ya. Bye.